Sir has received various awards like Frost and Civilian Green Manufacturing Award 2014. He is the winner of MEDA Energy Efficient Plant Competition in 2012. He is PM Pillar Head for 10 years in Mahindra and a certified energy auditor. Currently, he is working with DISHA in engineering Hingna MIDC at TPM Consultant since 2019. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Now the session is going to start. Please, all the participants be present here. Thank you, sir. Welcome again, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Proceed to you.
So I am sharing my screen. You are able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today's topic
Yes,
is TPM. It is my pleasure to be on the same platform for the second time. And last day on 19th, I shared a session on sustainability. And today the topic is TPM. There is some similarity between the two, sustainability and TPM, but the ultimate deliverable of both these approaches are different. For example, in sustainability, the main idea was to focus on 3PL reporting, that is people, planet, and profit. But in TPM, the main focus is to achieve productivity, desired productivity. So the total TPM full form is total productive maintenance. But JIPM, that is JUICE from Japan, they also define it as total perfect manufacturing, leading to total production management and leading to total profit management. So ultimately the aim is to earn maximum profit from the available resources. So how to utilize the available resources, including human being, to the maximum and achieve the maximum productivity. That is the aim of TPM. Now this TPM is not a specific maintenance policy, but it is a cultural change. You have to change the culture of people working in the organization. So it takes a lot of time. For example, if we kickstart TPM on day one, then for you to apply, to be eligible to apply for the first certificate, it takes around 5 to 6 years. Then only you can apply for the certificate. Because when you first apply, when you first commit yourself for TPM, then there is a form to be filled, and there you have to publish whatever current status is there. And from that, they will give you some targets to be achieved. And once you reach there, then only they will come for audit. So whenever they come for audit, the plant must have already done steps in their overall performance in all the departments. So that is how the TPM works, and it is audited by Japanese auditors. A philosophy, it is a change in philosophy, then new attitude with everyone participating. Because in India, it is typically seen that one Indian is an intelligent human being. It is the observation of Nani Palkhiwala, who is the expert of our constituency. He says that one Indian is an intelligent human being, two Indians will form a party, and three Indians will form two parties. So divisiveness is very much in our blood. Under TPM, everyone working in the company, right from the security guard to managing director, they are supposed to work with the same aim in their mind. Then only it can achieve the ultimate goal of productivity, with everyone participating for the betterment of the company. That is how the TPM philosophy is. And if you have to work for that, then this is the commitment. So these are the different companies who have gone for TPM ahead of Mahindra, and then Mahindra won it. The first award Mahindra won in 2008. And thereafter, we won 8 awards of TPM. So our existence is in the today's age, the competition is cutthroat, and we have to be slightly ahead of our competitor. Then only we can win the race. So every time the ultimate aim of the management is to remain ahead of their competitor. That is how the today's competition is. And to be successful requires total visible commitment of senior management, support from the top, and pushing and demanding improvements. That is how the key success factor is there. This is how the structure of TPM is there. If at the bottom you see all other theories like TQM and everything, the flow is top to bottom. But in case of TPM, the flow is from bottom to top. So first you have to form circles at the shop floor level. Then these circles will report to module level, at the manager level. Then it will be at the unit level, and then to plant CEO, the chairman. So you have to start from the bottom grassroots, and then only it can happen. So this is how the secretariat and this is how the different pillars are there. GC Hossain, plant maintenance, and I was heading plant maintenance while I was working in Mahindra and Mahindra. So I was pillar head for plant maintenance. Then Hossain, Hinsis to Hossain, Kobetsu Kaizen, KK, education and training, safety, health and environment, office TPM, administration materials, initial flow control. When new job comes to you, how you start it. So you can see here itself that it covers everything in an organization. All the departments are covered. So the philosophy is prevention rather than correction. So whenever a machine goes under breakdown, then what we do to start is called corrective maintenance. And prevention is what you do so that the failure doesn't occur again. So the prevention is different from correction. You have to take corrective action, but immediately you have to plan for a preventive action so that the correction is not required. So the problem is solved forever. That is how the philosophy is. Total participation. And this is how the goals are taken. This zero goal is taken for breakdown, zero breakdown. Now, it might be very difficult for you all to imagine a situation where the breakdown is zero. How it is possible that not a single machine will go under breakdown? But that is not how it is looked at. For example, today, if we take your vehicle, a four-wheeler or a two-wheeler, it is fully reliable. We take our family members in a car right in the dark also, thinking that our vehicle will not fail. We will go from one place to another place. And we do not have a mechanic in the car available who will attend the breakdown. The car is fully reliable and we know that it will not break down. So that is how if the machines are built, their servicing may be required, but breakdowns will not occur. For example, our printing machine. If a breakdown occurs, then the printing machine itself tells you that the paper has jammed or the ink is dried. So you can yourself attend to it and start the machine again. That is how the philosophy is. It is not that the breakdown will not occur, but you educate the operator to an extent that he starts attending his own breakdowns, small breakdowns. Then defect. There will be no defect generated by a machine. Losses are minimum. Accidents, for example, losses. Breakdown is not the only loss. There are total 16 losses and breakdown is one out of that. So we will learn that also. Then accidents, if one accident happens, then all the employees working in the factory, they will gather together, then they will shout something and do all this against the management and so on. So if one accident happens, it will hamper around 8 to 10 hours. So it takes a lot many hours to bring the employees back to their workplace and start working. So even accidents are detrimental to your productivity. Then pollution. If pollution starts happening, then the MPCB, their rules are so strict that they are mounting sensors in the factory premises itself. And the sensor has a direct connectivity to their office through cloud. So even if some pollution happens, they will immediately come to your factory and they have full authority to close down the factory if you are unable to convince them that you can plug the pollution immediately. Then health hazard. If people are, you might be aware of many manufacturing processes where a lot of pollution happens and people's health is at stake. So even that situation is to be brought to zero. Achieve dramatic improvement in PQCDSM. Now, what is PQCDSM? So P means productivity. That productivity increase by OEE improvement, overall equipment effectiveness. Then improvement in manpower utilization. Quality, C is for cost. You have to reduce your cost also. Running cost also. So as to reduce the cost of your final product and increase your profit. That is how it is. You have to work on FOS atoms, oil, gas, fuel, reduction in energy, reduction in material cost. D is for delivery. If you do everything right, your product is good, final product is good. But if you fail in delivery and if you are unable to send your product to the final customer in time, then also you can lose your business. So even delivery is important. Safety, health and environment. You should not pollute the environment, then health of the employees and safety of the employees. Aim is to improve morale of the employees. All those who come to factory, if they work only through their brain, then the productivity cannot be achieved. Brain and heart, everything should be present where their hands are busy. Then only the productivity can be achieved. So the morale stands for that you have to ensure that morale of the employees who come to work is also good. So this is how the PQCDSM cycle is there, and you have to take care of all the parameters. Then intangible gains, operator becomes more knowledgeable, because today if we look at the CNC machine, then it is not possible for an ITI past operator to attend the machine, because machines are nowadays very complicated. First of all, about 60 to 50 years ago, the machine used to be very simple. Only one pulley driving the shaft and that's all. So a person could attend his own machine, like our vehicle, cycle. For example, a cycle, the person maintains the cycle himself. He need not take it to mechanic. But he is unable to maintain the scooter or a four-wheeler. Similarly, the machines today have become very complicated. Electrical has entered, mechanical has entered, then electronics has also entered into that. Then even the Internet of Things. So it is all complicating. Nowadays, even AI is entering into machines. So it is not possible for an operator of ITI pass level to attend to all these problems. So operator becomes more knowledgeable. It is the responsibility of the maintenance team to educate the operators who are working the machines, so that small problems they can themselves attend and reduce the breakdown. Zero breakdowns and zero defects give new confidence to the operators in their own abilities. As I said about the morale, if the breakdown of the machine is less and the zero defect is generated, then operators will have high morale to work on the machines. Workplace clean and pleasant. Gone are the days when the shop floors used to be full of oil, dust, and very shabby. But nowadays, even if you visit Mahindra and Mahindra, you will find it like a operation theater. It is very so clean. The epoxy painted all shop floor. Even the meetings that happen in Mahindra in different departments, they happen on the shop floor. They sit on the shop floor. They don't need even chairs and tables. They will all sit, the entire group will sit on the shop floor and conduct their meeting. So clean are the shop floors. Happy feeling all around. Because if you are involved in some creativity, you always feel like going to office because you want to see the result of what you have created. So if the innovation culture is there in a factory, the people will feel motivated to go on duty. And there is a reason to pull them from their bed early in the morning. If you find that, then the day becomes very happy. Improvement in the morale, that is the final outcome. TPM, overall equipment effectiveness. What is overall equipment effectiveness? It is not only the zero breakdown. If a machine is newly purchased, machine is there, which doesn't have breakdown, it doesn't mean that it will give full productivity. So for productivity, lot many things depend. So what you cannot buy, for example, breakdown accidents. Loss is what you cannot buy. So positive loss is machining allowance in casting. Whenever you receive any casting from foundry, at that time it will have excess casting and you will have to machine it. That is positive loss. Because if that material doesn't exist, you cannot machine it to the finish level. But what are negative losses? Breakdown is a negative loss because you don't buy breakdowns. You don't want breakdowns, but they are happening. Accidents, you don't want accidents to happen, but they are happening. Leakages of FOS atom like oil and grease, you don't want leakages, but they are happening. So these losses, negative losses, are to be attacked, they are to be eliminated, bring to zero. And whatever positive losses are there, you have to reduce them to the bare minimum possible. This electricity, you cannot make it zero, but you can reduce it. If you are today you are consuming 100 units of electricity to make one tractor, then you can aim for bringing it down to 80. That is how it has to be reduced. All the positive losses need to be reduced. You can reduce the amount of material that will be available on received casting so that your machining time reduces. That is how you can approach the positive losses. But negative losses, you have to have target of zero. You have to eliminate them. These are the 16 losses. Breakdown loss is one of them. Then planned maintenance time loss. When you receive on your mobile that today MSCB will not feed you power for so many hours, they are actually doing planned maintenance. So even planned maintenance, you have to reduce as much as possible. And breakdown is to be reduced to zero. Setup loss. When a new change happens, you have to change lot many things like fixture you have to change, then you have to change the tooling. So that comes under setup loss. You want it to be single minute change diet, SMD, single minute die change. That within 9 minutes, single digit you can say that you want to change the die and prepare machine for next operation. Tool change loss. If a tool gets blunt and if you take lot of time to change the tool, then it is not acceptable. You have to make it minimum. Startup loss. For example, if in Mahindra, if you take the example of Mahindra, then there is a paint shop where the tractor is painted. So right from the first tractor which you paint, you want 170-degree temperature. Then only you can paint the tractor. So to reach to 170 degree at 7 p.m. in the morning, you have to start your plant at 4 a.m. in the morning. Then only the fuels will burn and then you will create that heat available, make it available at 7 a.m. So that loss is considered as startup loss. You have not started your productive activity, production activity, but still you are consuming a lot of energy. And that energy is considered as startup loss. So this has to be brought to minimum. It is not avoidable, but it can be brought to minimum. Then minor stoppage loss, frequent stoppages for short time like less than 1 minute, components stuck up to die and all. Reduce speed loss. At times, what happens that machine develops some problem inside and it is not possible to immediately repair it. So maintenance person will come to you and say that, please reduce the speed of the machine, then machine will work. and then we will plan the correct breakdown activity during Diwali shutdown. So till Diwali, you have to run at reduced speed. That is also a loss of productivity. So this also is not acceptable. So loss due to quality. If you generate defects, if you work on a particular casting, do machining of it, and after doing machining, you have consumed lot of energy while machining, and then you find out that the product you have made is defective, it has to be reworked, then the total energy what you have consumed at work to dogs. So that is not acceptable. So defects have to be zero. Then management loss. Raw material is not available. Now that is not the responsibility of the people who are working on the shop floor. Raw material has to be made available by management. So it becomes a management loss. Operating motion loss. Suppose if operator needs a Allen key or spanner or screwdriver, and he has to walk for 15 feet or 20 feet away from his machine, then it is operating motion loss. All what he needs, all the tools what he needs should be available at on the approach of one hand. It should be very nearer to him. Then only this loss can be minimized. Adjustment and measurement loss. If you produce some defect, you have to adjust machine feed speed. Then that is adjustment loss. That also is to be zero. Line organization loss. If the line is not organized properly, suppose there are 10 machines in a row, and 7 machines are having cycle time 3 minutes, and 1 machine has cycle time 10 minutes, then all these 3 minute cycle time machines will machine their components, but they will have to wait for the last machine to complete his cycle of 10 minutes. So the 7 minutes are wasted per machine. So line has to be balanced in such a way that every machine runs for the total available hours. Then only it is called line organization properly done, line utilization. So that is how the line organization should be. Logistic loss. If operator has to travel a lot or move a lot, then it is logistic loss like operation motion loss. Then last losses are yield loss. Excess material, as I said, that if the excess material is there in casting, then you will have to run your machine for a longer time. Energy loss, they have to be brought down to minimum. Losses due to heat radiation, leakage, fuel, die and tool loss. So all these losses are to be brought to minimum level, and then OEE is calculated. When you have reached to bare minimum level, where you stay, where you raise your hands, now we cannot reduce it further, it has come to bare minimum. Then OEE is calculated, overall equipment effectiveness. Availability rate multiplied by quality rate multiplied by performance rate. What is availability rate? Total time available. So 24 hours are available. Out of that, 1 hour each shift, 3 hours will go for lunch time. Then 1.5 hours will go for tea time. So that loss reduced minus from total available time of 24 hours. Then that becomes the operative time. And in that, those operating hours, how much production you are getting from the machine. And so how much is the downtime? Total time, available time minus lost time. Because of any reason, I have enlisted 16 losses. So out of that, any reason, if there are some losses which you will have to reduce from available time, then that is how the availability rate is calculated. That even there are 24 hours, you cannot have availability rate 100% unless you reduce the losses to bare minimum or zero. Performance rating. If theoretical cycle time, if a machine runs for 3 minutes to complete one cycle of one casting, and you are producing 100 parts in a day, so that is the total cycle time multiplied by parts it has made. It should be, if it is divided by total operating available time, that gives the performance rating. That even though the operating availables were available, the machine is not producing quality. So then it is performance rating wise, it goes poor. Quality rating, not okay parts, total parts produced. So that is how it takes care of availability, quality as well as performance. So maintenance, quality and management, everybody comes into picture, including supply chain, which provides the raw material. So that is how OEE is calculated. OEE has an impact on the customer, company and employees. Customer improving OEE will allow a more reliable results and less appointment wait time. So customer will be happy, company will be happy because in the available time you are producing maximum, so their profit also grows. Then employees are also happy because they feel satisfied that I have worked in this company and the result is good, that I have done what was expected from me. So this is how the satisfaction is there at every level. 6 machine losses. So downtime, setup adjustment, minor stoppages, speed loss. So what affects availability? Availability is affected by downtime, setup time. What is affecting performance? Minor stoppage, speed and rate. Then what affects quality? Defects and rework. So that this is how the different parameters that are considered in OEE are affected by various different problems appearing in the working. So this is how the availability rate OEE is calculated. So if you look at this example, the total OEE is only 30%, and what is expected is above 80%. So that is the expectation, that once the OEE reaches to nearer to 75%, then you can call the Japanese auditors to come and visit your organization. That is how the strict regulation is there from TPM body. So this is how it is calculated, and this is, you will find some similarity to my earlier subject, sustainability, where different pillars were there. They had the different responsibility. In the similar way, here are 8 pillars, and this is the typical TPM house that is published and populated. So it is very popular among all the industries. The first pillar, if I talk about, is Hosen. Jishu Hosen is a Japanese word and it means autonomous maintenance. What it simply means is the operator who is operating the machine will maintain the machine also. As I said earlier, that nowadays the machines have become so complicated that a ITI passed operator will not be able to attend to all the problems, electronic, electrical, mechanical. So maintenance department is there, but it is the duty of maintenance department to educate operators. In good old days, when the machines were very simple machines, like in lathe machine, Shimoga lathe, one pulley operating the entire machine. So at that time, it was easy for an operator to maintain it, to lubricate it with some oil gun or so. And then he used to maintain himself. But then slowly electrical engineering entered into machine. Then slowly mechanical complicated engineering entered the machine. So it slowly became complicated and more complicated. Now what happens, that today, if in a CNC machine, if a breakdown occurs, then he will call maintenance person. Now maintenance person, you will see that in any industry, maintenance persons are always considered as a burden because they do not produce anything. So there will be bare minimum maintenance people. So suppose if the electrician is calling, is busy on some other machine, attending a breakdown, very important breakdown. So he will not attend his breakdown immediately. Now the CNC operator is waiting for the maintenance person to come. Then maintenance person will first clear that problem, start the machine, and then report to his machine after 1.5 hours, suppose. And then he opens the electrical panel and resets a overload, and machine starts within few seconds. So now, if he trains the operator, what he has done, that if a particular machine motor has got overloaded and the overload of the motor has tripped, The operator himself can reset. He need not wait for 1.5 hours for the maintenance person to go. So all these small things, suppose the V belt has gone, V belt has broken. Now it is very easy for an operator to change the V belt. But since he is not allowed to open the panel of the machine, maintenance people will take objection. So slowly what happens, that slowly this GC has come into picture, that we should educate our operators to clear their breakdowns at their level, whatever they can do. Then another pillar is planned maintenance. Now we may have a question in mind that if everything is done by the operator himself, what maintenance people will do? So maintenance people will be throughout doing planned maintenance. They will not be doing breakdown maintenance, but they will be doing planned maintenance during Diwali shutdown and during say 26th January, 15th August. So maintenance, it is typical for maintenance people. All these holidays, what people enjoy at their home with their family members. Maintenance people always look at it as a OBM, opportunity based maintenance. So if there is an opportunity, they will immediately come and attend the machine. So like police force, when we all enjoy the festives at home, police force is always on the road for ensuring that security is there. Similarly, when there is a shutdown in factory for any reason, holiday or festivals or anything, then maintenance people will reach to factory and attend their maintenance job. So they will be busy in planning and doing planned maintenance. They will not do breakdown maintenance. Quality maintenance, what they will do? They will ensure that if a particular breakdown quality rejection happens on a machine, suppose it has cut more material than required, then the part is rejected. So they will deeply study why it happened, whether it was the 4M approach will be there. 4M means machine, method, material, and maintenance. So they will look at all the factors, that whether it is caused because of the material is more hard than what is supposed to be, then whether it has caused because of the negligence of man, the rejection has happened, whether it is because of the machine itself, that machine is creating something, it is not following the command. If I give command of 0.25 centimeter, if it is taking command of 0.5 centimeter, then it is something is wrong with the program of the machine. So this way they will look at all the factors that can affect the quality, and they will work on that. They will reach to the root cause of the problem, and they will eliminate this root cause, and they will monitor that problem, that it should not reoccur. So for a maintenance person or a quality person, if the breakdown reoccurs or the rejection reoccurs of the similar fashion, then it is looked at as a big failure for those departments. Whatever has happened wrong should not happen again. So that is how the approach of maintenance as well as quality. So whatever rejection has got generated, it should not rehappen in the history of the machine. So that is how there will be new problems, they will occur, but the old problems should not reoccur. That is how the approach is. Now what is Kobetsu Kaizen? Kobetsu Kaizen is now when you go for TPM, when you commit yourself for TPM, then every department is improving. Every department is carrying out some or the other improvement. So all these improvements need to be registered properly, and then they should be tabulated and they should be monitored properly. So Kobetsu Kaizen is what? Kaizen means what? You might be aware of the Zen car which was launched by Maruti. So Zen means improvement in Japanese, and Kaizen means continuous improvement. So you have to improve, keep on improving your process continuously. It is not one-time improvement. Every day you have to improve. You have to make today better than yesterday, every day. So Kobetsu Kaizen is the department which will register and they will monitor the improvements done by all the departments. Some might be improving, some might be working for reducing the cost of the final product. Some department might be working for reducing the breakdown losses. Some department might be working for the reduction in defects. Some might be working in improvement in cycle time. So if suppose machine is taking cycle time of 8 minutes to operate one part, then how it can be reduced to 6 minutes so that the production increases. So all these improvements will be brought to Kobetsu Kaizen pillar and they will be registered at one location. So whatever improvement happens in any department will be available at Kobetsu Kaizen. So at one single point, all the improvements that are made by the organization are available. Education and training. When I say that every department has to improve, then there will be training need also of every department, education as well as training. So at times it is debated that how education can be different than training. So one gentleman has defined it like this, that animals can be trained, only human beings can be educated. So there is a difference. When you improve muscle memory of a person, you are actually giving him training. So it is not only the muscle memory we are focusing, we are also focusing on the development of the brain of people. We want them to gain knowledge. So education as well as training, both are essential. So there will be one department who will be tabulating energy and training and education needs of all the pillars available in the factory. What is requirement of GC, what training they want, what training is required by maintenance people, what training is required by quality department, what training is required by safety, health and organization, environment, what training is required by office TPM, initial flow control, what training is required environment. So they will tabulate is required by office TPM, initial flow control, what training is required, and if the faculty will tabulate in the organization, they will, for initial flow control, have training is required, and if the faculty will tabulate from the organization, they will, for initial flow control, have training